or okay.
Chris is out of state.
Okay, great. Welcome everyone. Festival of Chimes and Lights Committee here today, Monday, April 18th, and we're getting started right away with some updates from Janine about what's gone on with information collecting at the city level.
Perfect. Sorry, just bear with me for 1 second. I could see Rita as an attendee right now, so I'm gonna.
Good.
I'm bringing her over.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay, there she is. I just wanted to make sure she was.
Hi, Rita. Hi, Stephanie. Welcome.
Okay, so several updates. I know I wasn't at the last Chimes meeting, but Brandy and I had talked about it, and then I had some other stuff that I've been working on and tasked with. So one of the first thing is the portable toilet. So Brandy had asked me to reach out and just kind of look at prices and availabilities of toilets for that weekend.
Okay.
And so it looks like, I got several emails and I tried to pull them all up. So it looks like they deliver Friday and would pick up on Monday. Otherwise, it would be an extra charge to have a weekend delivery. So for deliver Friday, pick up Monday. So we just asked for an estimate of 3 portable toilets, and it would be $385.50, but that includes rental, delivery, hand sanitizers, pickup, and wasted disposal. And the reason it was 3 is so Brandy had been emailing a couple of the directors back and forth about the event application, trying to get everything set up, getting the map, which I do have for you guys in just a second.
Okay.
But the chief came back and he says, as it is right now with the complete closure of Bay Street, so I'm trying to get his wording exactly. I don't want to, put words into his mouth. So he said, if the intent is to close Bay Street to all traffic during the event, I do not see a need for traffic control or a traffic control contractor to develop a plan. He said in 2019, we put out barricades at Kitsap and Sydney and kept the roadway closed for pedestrian use. So one of the questions is Sydney from the light down to the water, is the plan to have that closed or open? Because if it's open, we will need to have a traffic control plan and flaggers, but if Sydney is kept closed, we will not.
So I guess that would be up to Kitsap Transit, wouldn't it, Sharon? Isn't that usually how would Kitsap Transit be able to get in there to pick up from the ferry?
They have to go in on Harrison Street.
Right, Harrison, and then how would they exit the same way?
They go in on Harrison and come out on Sydney.
So Cindy, is all that's going to be happening is the Christmas tree lighting, or is there other stuff? I'm sorry, I missed the last couple meetings.
Yeah, okay, that's okay, Corinne. Now, well, it's going to be more pedestrian friendly this year. A lot more activity. Oh, Corinne, one big thing is having Santa down at the gazebo.
Okay. So I was just wondering how long you really needed the street closed for, or what time period, if you were going to close it.
Well, we didn't want to have the street closed too long. We certainly didn't want to have, we wanted to have it as open as possible for merchants. So that's our whole plan all along. I think all we have to solve is that little section of Sydney, to the waterfront.
Yeah, well, if you're not, because we're not going back to when we used to have the fire truck with Santa and the band and everything, right?
No, we're gonna have the band.
Oh, you are? Okay, then you really do have to close. I was just thinking maybe you could close from City Hall to Frederick, and then that still allowed the buses to turn on Sydney, but
right. Yeah. So no, we are definitely going to have the marching band, but Corinne, we've been tossing around the possibility that they could maybe turn down Frederick to head down to the gazebo area. We're not sure of the route. We were tossing around a lot of ideas. Whatever works the best in the long run for merchants and everybody's safety.
Yeah.
So,
but have the band turn on Frederick,
possibly,
and go back through that might be kind of. Then you wouldn't have to close the whole road.
And we'd have to work out the route to the gazebo because Santa's got to get over to the gazebo, but,
Oh, yeah,
so,
you'd have to go one way on the stretch by the library.
like have flaggers for a period of time, just temporarily.
Yeah,
Um,
it should be great to get a different route because the buses are what keep kind of messing up things.
well,
But they
I can
need to
talk,
pick, I know they have to pick up at the ferry. I know that.
yeah, but you know what? If there's some possibility of just having a turnaround right there at the, that little roundabout and scooting back out the other way, if that was
Yeah.
the only traffic control that was needed, who knows? We can talk to Kids Up Transit and see if there's
Sure.
any possibility. So probably during that period of time, the foot ferry comes about every 15 to 20 minutes or so, right?
I thought it was an hour
Yeah.
and 30.
Yeah,
Till how late though? That's a Saturday, right?
right.
Yeah.
And we only planned on having, Corinne, another thing you may not know is that we weren't gonna have the streets closed until later because we don't
Yeah.
have much going on. So.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That makes
So
sense.
all morning long, the streets for the most part are gonna be open for merchant activity and all of that.
Yeah, okay. Good.
Is there still going to be a run, and are they going to start at the park area?
No run,
Okay.
yay. We really didn't want to have the run mixed in with Chimes and Lights any longer, just because of this complication.
Yeah,
And in the past, it was it was a different cause. We were kind of involved with all of that, but now, just with all the new regulations and everything, and after having heard the merchants say that that is really tricky for them to lose that important shopping day, we're trying to have this be as friendly as possible for the merchants and
Good.
for people attending the festival.
Good.
So that's why all these ideas have been floating around, but it sounds good then. We'll talk to Kids Up Transit, which would be the biggest problem with closing that little section of Sydney.
yeah,
And I'll give John a call just to see. I think in the past, if I remember correctly, we have worked out some kind of alternate route. There may
Yeah,
be
they've routed through the parking lot before. The buses.
yeah. And Kathleen, did they just come out by the bank down there? Is that what they
Yeah.
did?
Mhm. Yep.
So that's how we may be able to do it, you guys.
yeah.
And just have, if we need flaggers, it would just be for that, for the Kids Up Transit.
They can
So-
actually almost go all the way down to the theater,
Right,
WWCA.
just
get out.
about. Yeah, I know. Well, we'll work on that, okay? So
Okay, yeah, you know somebody at Kids Up Transit, don't you, Cindy?
I just do. Yeah, few people. Yeah, that works. So we'll just see, because that would really make this a lot easier. So we do not have to have a traffic plan or the expense of all the flagging and everything if we close that off. Because then it's so contained that we don't have to worry about public safety. It's the whole point. And that may be something that can be used in the future too. Okay, well, that's on my list then. We'll check on that. Okay, what else did you have then? So 3
Yes.
potties is what we figure we need?
She
3
just
porta
said
potties?
with the no traffic control and not having to, close anything, we were just kind of estimating at 3 to start with, just to kind of get an idea.
And what was your cost on those again, Janine?
It was, I believe, $385.50 for 3.
Okay.
That works. I think that seems reasonable, don't you? So we just have to figure out where to put them.
Definitely. Yep.
Okay,
Perfect.
all right, well,
It's
we'll add that to our budget. Cool.
nice.
3 is a
Okay.
lot better than what I was thinking originally, right?
And this is Hemley's septic
Okay,
is who we
okay.
contacted. And let's see, so after we got that quote, Brandy did mention that, due to the price of the portable toilets, even though it's not, outrageous, we may need to use a little less Christmas lighting. And she said maybe just some of the Christmas, just the smaller strands that we get. She said we just may need to limit some of those. So I just wanted to share that with the committee.
You may need to do a little fundraising.
I mean,
Okay.
on the big tree, or where limit the lights where?
Yeah, where?
Just put around Porter, not the tree, no, and not any of the very visible locations where we normally do stuff, just maybe somewhere that's, you know, maybe an added strand that was added to one that already had plenty, just for more light. She said maybe just something along those lines. Nothing drastic, but just to try and save costs.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. We'll have to play with that a little bit. Okay, so is now on to the next thing. Did you have more information
Oh,
too?
yeah. So let's see. So I have a map. Sorry, let me try and share my screen here.
Okay,
And this map is from a couple years ago, but we just want to verify that the closures are what the committee is looking for. We're trying to finalize the special event application.
okay. Oh, yeah, good.
Okay. All right, so I think. All right, can you guys see that?
Yes,
Perfect. Okay. So as of right now, from my understanding is we may be keeping that open, but we just wanted to make sure, and that don't look at the times, the 12 to 8, that was just the prior one. But we just
Sure.
wanted to make sure that this route, just exactly where this is where the road closure will be, with this part as of right now being left open.
with what part being left open?
Sorry.
Oh.
Cindy? Oh, sorry, I can't. Yeah, I don't know if you can see my mouse. I'm going over it.
Okay, okay. Well, so we're talking about, but if Kitsap Transit agreed to it, we would leave that part closed, I think. It's that left turn in and that, I think that's what the chief was really concerned about, is that traffic right in that little section of Sydney.
Yeah, it has to do with the traffic and pedestrians is the concern.
Okay. Otherwise, I think we're getting pretty close to it. The only thing I'm not sure of, Janine, is the movement of parking behind the merchants on the waterfront.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not sure of that. You guys, do you remember when we did leave that open once, how that was managed? That traffic, you know, we allowed parking, and we also allowed like employees and people to use the parking right behind the merchants there. How did we handle the coming and going of that traffic? Or once they got in there, were they just stuck?
Honestly, on my end, I cannot remember, but I can pull up one of our prior applications and see if it mentions it on there, or if the map kind of details what we did with that parking.
Okay,
Yeah, so I'll see what I can find out.
okay. Yeah,
I
See-
always had to tell my employees that they, you know, or all the people that worked in the market, that they wouldn't be able to access or get out again until after
Until
the-
after.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's what we're gonna do with our marina tenants. We're gonna tell them that they can park on the other side of the boat launch if they need to come and go. Otherwise, once they're in, they're stuck.
They're in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds like pretty much, Janine, it does sound like we're kind of limiting any kind of movement in there. I mean, if somebody's parked there, they'll have to stay there until the road opens back up again.
But it
But,
won't be as bad because it's for a shorter period of time. I mean,
Yeah.
before it was closed like in the morning
right,
and then closed all day until after the tree lighting. This will be much easier to work around.
I think so, because we're talking about a 2 o'clock-ish street closure.
Yeah.
Depending on how much time Public Works and the police need to kind of secure the area so that it's completely cleared out by 3 o'clock is what we're thinking. So, okay, see, and then that isn't as much time. So I think we do try to keep that closed off. That is the safest solution if we can. And then we'll try to work out something with Kitsap Transit for getting Santa through or whatever we need to do. And that probably would end up meaning the band and everybody would go down Frederick to get around. So that that we wouldn't have the traffic turning from Bay Street up Sydney Hill. It wouldn't affect that, you know what I mean? That's what I know the chief had real issues with that interference. Because those lights will still be working. And if there is traffic
Yeah.
coming in from Bay heading up the hill, that can continue and people just use the crosswalks.
So the last time we did this was in
Uh-huh.
2019.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't close Bay Street past Sydney. It was open. And so the Santa parade, when the Santa parade got to the light at Sydney and Bay, the band was in the front and Santa was in the back. The band was halted by the police
I
doing
know.
traffic control.
I know.
And then they had to like close down that intersection, make sure that there wasn't any kids up transit. And then, so they played the same song like 3 times and then they went down Sydney and then
Right.
turned. But I mean, it wasn't terrible. And if they would have had a more advanced notice, I don't know why they didn't know that the parade was coming. You know, like, here it comes, now close the street down. It seemed like they waited until the parade got there and then closed it.
Yeah, and I think that's where the chief would start having issues. He doesn't like that intermingling of live traffic with stopping.
Yeah.
So if we had the band and Santa turn down Fredericks and then go behind, I think that would be a lot easier. And I think, Kathleen, we may have still had tractors going in 2019. I'm trying to remember if we had tractors.
I think so.
It was not working. The whole thing did not work. People were very unhappy. We won't have the tractors this time. But if we can make it work to go down Fredericks and then just figure out being in the safety of the parking lot and also having access next to the library to scoot over to the other area on the boardwalk.
Mhm.
And that's just working that out, I think, with Kitsap Transit.
The Santa's
So-
in the fire truck, so he's got to like get the truck through. But that's what they did before. They went through.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
It's been done before.
Yeah.
So, but it's been done before with a different mindset.
Mm-hmm. And it was it came straight down Sydney and then turned down that street. So
Yeah, and that's what we have to probably avoid in order to be able to move ahead as easily as
Okay.
we think we could. So, okay, well, we'll work that out. So I think we're going to try to go ahead. That map is probably pretty accurate then, Janine.
Okay.
We just have to work out the details with Kitsap Transit. And there might just need to be traffic control on either side of that one-way stretch by the library there and the ferry, if we can get this approved.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. And then one question, are the parking lots by the gazebo, are those going to be open to traffic? Or are they going to be closed?
That's a good question
It
because
is.
there's going to be a long line in front of the sleigh, which would be that first row coming down the boardwalk. So I think that's going to have to be worked out. And if Sydney is closed, there's no way they can get back out and take a left unless they go down Sydney. Say they come down, they park in that area, they park behind Peninsula Brew, for example, walk over, do their thing with Santa, get back in their car, take a left like they're going to Sydney, and then they're going to make another left to come back out to the light. If that street is closed, they're not getting back out either, unless they go straight through like we're directing the buses. So I don't know how that's going to work in there.
Well, they would have to go out the same way they came in. If they're parking in that area by the Peninsula.
But you can't take a left off of Harrison.
No, you can't. No, it's a right out only.
Yeah,
But they can go up Sydney because
Mhm.
that intersection will be open for traffic. So they would go down Bay, turn up Sydney, and then scoot around.
okay, that would need to be really clearly identified for the driving traffic.
Yeah. I wonder if we could get one of those reader boards that flashes
Yeah.
that makes that clear
I-
right
I-
at that corner.
I would recommend that they could use the Peninsula Brew parking and the first 2 major rows in back of Peninsula Feed, but leave the rest of it open because we want to have a couple vendors back in there. If there's going to be a band or, you know, choirs or something, maybe at the gazebo where people could come in and enjoy the. We're still working on getting Ken Weekly of Ken's Kettle Corn back in there for free popcorn. And then the church that does the free cider. And then Santa and maybe some music there at the bleacher area, then I would like to have at least 2 rows of all that parking around the gazebo empty and not occupied by traffic. But the immediate parking in back of Peninsula Feed, I think would be fine.
Well, Kathy needs to have that parking for her clients and customers. Don't you back there? You don't, Kathy? Okay, I thought maybe the displaced parking from near you would need to go somewhere. But
We are going to put them behind Hank's Sheet Metal and the theater, because the port owns that property now.
Oh, nice.
Oh my goodness.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh
so
my
I'll
goodness.
relocate anybody that needs to go over there, and then anybody that stays put in the front of our office
yeah,
won't be able to go through. We'll just let
Oh.
everybody know.
cool. Okay, Kathy, on that same note, when the band members used to arrive, that was kind of a gathering place right there next to the sheet metal place, you know, right along the side of that building. Would that still be open for the band's buses and transport people?
Yeah, I'll just want to check with Hank Sheet Metal and make sure we keep them in the loop.
Okay,
But, I don't, if we've done it before, I don't see a problem, but I
Okay.
think we just have to give them plenty of notice.
right. And then, yeah, then the police would know to allow them into that area. And that's kind of where they gather and kind of line up to start the whole parade thing.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, that is such a cool thing. I forgot. Oh, that is so neat that would work like that. Then,
The
you
only
know, what-
downside about having Santa at the park, I kind of brought it up at the last meeting. I took it back to James, and he said we do not have a budget to decorate the park. All we're going to be able to do is wrap the poles at the gazebo,
Mhm.
but all the rest of that lighting is going to have to make it festive, is going to have to come from somewhere else. And I know Janine just said the city's cutting possibly. So I don't know how that's
Well, look-
going to look super festive down there.
we're gonna look for sponsors.
Okay.
What we can do is we can chop it up into sections and then see if we can get sponsorships from community organizations to maybe decorate certain areas to make it really manageable. So maybe just railings in one place. If we can actually come up with a little plan, and what we could do is kind of draw it out and get sponsorship, and then we'll recognize the sponsors for the decorating. I think we could do that and find plenty. We'll make an attempt.
So
Kathy?
sorry, go ahead.
Kathy, I was just wondering, Kathy, so does WWCA not have a play that weekend?
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll check, but
they you know, their
we've let
seasons
them
are,
know, we have let them know that we are going to utilize that parking
Okay.
for events,
All right.
but I think we will let them know that too.
yeah, I'm sure they would have said something. Usually they have always had plays that weekend of Festival of Chimes and Lights, but their season is different because of COVID.
Okay.
So,
Good point. I'll check it
Yeah,
out.
it's a
Thank
good
you.
point. It
Okay.
is. Okay. And if they do have something, let's find out what it is so we can get them included in information.
yeah,
Yeah, because that would be nice. And
Yeah.
parking will get figured out somehow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll get a hold of them because I want to
Okay.
talk to them about some other events too. We're displacing for the cruise in August as well and the Mustang show. So
Okay,
I'll just talk to them about all of it.
sounds really good. Okay, Janine, go ahead. You've got a lot of stuff.
I do. And actually, I just kind of wanted to follow up on what you guys had just talked about getting, oh my gosh, where was I going with that? About getting sponsors to help decorate.
Yeah,
The only thing, and the only reason I ask is I know this would probably be asked of us. Are you
okay.
going to ask the sponsors to put up the lights and decorations, or are we going to have city staff do it? Because if we have the public start putting stuff up, it may become a liability.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just wanted to bring that up. Just
Well,
something to think
if
about.
we're decorating along the waterfront, or actually like the gazebo, if we get these areas identified, that is actually the port property, isn't it?
Mhm. Yes,
So the
yes.
city wouldn't have the liability, and the port would have to decide how they feel about that. I think it's all port property that we're talking about
Perfect.
as far
Okay.
as, yeah, I think
I'm
it
not
is.
sure about the rail all the way down the boardwalk. I'm not sure if that's city or port, that
I can-
boardwalk.
That's a good question. I can find out.
Yeah, and I
about
don't
that
know either
rail.
on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good question.
I'm not
And
sure where there's
that's-
any plugs either.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah. What
Okay,
about
but-
we had talked about the JROTC decorating.
Yeah,
That
we had.
is
Mhm.
that something the port would be okay with, Kathy, or does the port want to decorate?
I'm gonna double check with James. He'll be back in town tomorrow. So
Okay.
I'll just confirm that there are no liability issues. Is
Okay.
it, but I would just want to know, is it gonna be up for the whole season, up for the day? Is it, you know?
Yeah.
Another good question. Well, so the port would be paying for the electricity. Do you know if that would be an issue, Kathy?
I don't think that's the issue. It's just, we didn't budget for extra lighting to do that park area this year. And
I would-
we kind of extended our budget last year with the
Oh,
whole
you did.
waterfront
You
thing.
did it, and thank heavens
So,
for that.
yeah,
actually.
so, yeah, and we've had issues down at the park.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever Fathoms puts up down there for the sleigh area, it will come down that night, just like it did when we were over in the grassy area.
I think if it's just lights, we would ask that the sponsors leave them up.
Yeah.
Why not? And that might even help to light the park a little bit.
It might be fun to have some blow ups and stuff around the sleigh to make it look real festive. Those are pretty easy to put up and take down quickly.
Saints have some.
Yeah,
They did us a favor last year and brought some of those blobs for the empty lot.
that would really make it look fun down there, I think.
And then those would go away.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, if we can just work out a little plan of potential sponsorship decoration spots, then we can find out about liability and find out if the sponsors are just going to be for the materials or for the materials decorating and takedown. So Kathy, you can really kind of find out from your crew what everyone's most comfortable with, maybe.
Okay, will do. And like I
Okay.
said, we'll wrap the posts at the gazebo.
Okay,
We'll wrap those.
okay,
So if you want anything in the grandstands or in the grass or, you know, any of,
and we also talked about wanting some music down there. So we're still working on that. But,
we were thinking bagpipes, right?
or something, yeah, depending on when and how long kind of thing. For sure, pipe bands are being checked into. And dancers, the Scottish dancing that's Highland dancing, that's being checked into too. So to be determined where they would all be. But yeah, I think that a lot more people then are gonna head down to that area, which we haven't had happen in the last couple of years.
You know, last fall, when we kind of did a sort of initial Oktoberfest thing, Popsa,
Yeah,
the Hollywood and Vine dance group did a couple of dances for us under the gazebo. And I know they're interested in doing more stuff like that, but I know Santa's under the gazebo too. So, but she was really interested in doing things like that in the future.
okay.
So,
So we just need we need a dry place where people can observe them.
I wonder
Yeah.
if they can watch them through the windows like they did with the other dance studio when they put on like little Nutcracker vignettes and people would just watch through the window.
that's a good
Right.
idea.
But it's no longer open because
No,
revitalized.
but Hollywood and
No,
Vine is in the old it's It's not in the old Wisteria Lane. What was in there? Another,
Well, there's been all kinds of stuff. It's where Mercedes had her ceramic shop a million years ago.
oh, yeah.
It's between the Theater Cindy and Jack Action Comics. It's
Oh,
along
yeah,
that
yeah.
strip.
Oh,
And
okay.
she does have, but she's kind of got it covered. I don't know if she might, I don't know. Her name's Christine.
Okay.
They were going to do a May Day poll thing, but we just never got that figured out. They did a couple of really cute dances for Oktoberfest.
See, anything like that would be a plus. Anything, and it can be taking places at different times, different places. We'll just try to work out that stuff, even if we have to get, a tent covering or a couple of coverings or something. So let's just keep looking into that. I love it.
Our dream is to have that little patio between the theater and Bay Street
I know.
finish this summer, which, it's exactly what we want to do with that space, but we
Man,
have to
that
get
would
the
be-
money.
That
That'd
would
be
be just
perfect.
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. Just
Yeah.
amazing. And then
But-
all that energy down into that area,
Yeah.
that'd be very cool. We still may need some help with crosswalks. Like I think of that area down there. If people are crossing, I think we need to have an organized flaggers, volunteers, because
Mhm.
that is going to be the dangerous area.
Well, they do have to be certified, right? The flaggers have to be certified.
Do we know
Yeah.
that?
That's what
I
Chief
believe
has said.
so.
Any flagger has to be certified.
Okay.
That's what's causing, issues
Yeah.
for a lot of us. So,
Yeah. All right.
and I think somebody from Fathoms went to the certification class. There's a few people around that are certified, but
Yeah, Bob Morehouse went.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Can we put
um,
on a class ourselves and then have
well,
somebody?
I tried this summer. No, wait, this summer, this is April. What am I thinking? I tried this winter to get people, I sent out emails to,
I know.
all
I
of
know.
you guys, because there's a place in Bremerton that does them and they would do one just for our group. You can get in on classes or you can do it as a group, and it was $75
Can
a
it be done
person. But-
Can it be done online, do you think?
Can it be done what?
Can it be done online?
I don't know. I don't know. But it's probably, I have a feeling not, but I don't know. It's $75 and then you're certified for 5 years. But I'd never got hardly any, engagement on that. So,
There's just a lot going on. I know.
yeah, well, there's always a lot going on. That's just it. But they've written me back before and said, are you still interested? And the last time I didn't respond, but
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. We have a good lighting system and flag system. I mean, you just hit the button and the lights, people are really good at stopping. I'm crossing the road all the time downtown.
Mhm. I'm thinking of that one corner
Mhm.
by the bistro.
Yeah, but it's one of the ones that you push a button and it flashes.
Yeah.
Oh, is that not flashing?
No.
Are you sure, Steve?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
No.
Steve says no, I'm wrong. So it's just flags there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And if people, you see if there's increased activity with people coming out,
Yeah.
that's where I think we'd have to have flaggers, if anything. And I
Yeah.
would just say we come up with them ourselves because it
Well, you
wouldn't
got
be worth-
plenty, there's plenty of time for some people to go take that class.
Yeah, right. Well, we'll see if we can get the guilt monkey out and get a few people certified.
Sure.
Oh, there's got to be a way. All right. So maybe that's a good Rotarian project, Green. So
Yeah, I think yeah.
you never know. Okay. Well, anyway, Janine, go ahead because I know you've got more.
Sorry, yeah,
No,
nice
you don't have to
list
be
here.
severe. Okay.
So, the next thing is we reached out to Gordon Sound, who used to do our sound system, and he is absolutely available.
Okay,
So we wanted to confirm the location, and also he said he may need 6 hours ahead of the event to start preparing.
6. Okay.
Yeah, and so we're just not sure where he was going to be set up, and we did reach back out to him to see if he needed road closures or if he needed a lot of space for this, just because we're not sure, but just wanted to let the committee know that, yeah, they are available. they would like 6 hours before the event to start setting up.
That's fine. And actually, Janine, I doubt that he would need anything that even resembles a road closure. He
And wasn't
actually,
he at
se-
City Hall, just up
Yeah.
there in the grassy area?
he
Okay,
sits up,
that's what,
yeah.
perfect,
Yeah.
perfect.
And if he can, I don't know, he can either park right next to City Hall there, because there's parking, and haul stuff, that's what he's done in the past. Or is there any parking at all, by the police department that's open other than for police? Is there any parking in there at all?
I believe no, but we can double check, at least for the event, if he can park in that spot. I can
Just
check
for,
with the chief.
yeah, that would be great if there was one spot at least that he could do unloading and stuff. Then he could park alongside City Hall where like the city vehicles are parking. He might be able to park over there.
Okay,
But I don't think he'll need any kind of road closure because he doesn't even go
Perfect.
across the street. Yeah,
so same location as before, just right in front of City Hall. Perfect. Okay. So
Yeah.
I will let him know that, yeah, he doesn't need to respond to the road closure or detours. Okay, so that was a nice quick one. I think the rest are actually really quick. So I got a hold of the Alpine Yucca where we purchase or sponsor the trees for Bay
oh,
Street.
yeah. Uh-huh.
And so he did say that the tree cost is going up, but it's going up by $1 per tree. And that's it. So they're going to be $48 per tree instead of 47. The order form, he kind of knows that we'll be purchasing trees, but the official order form doesn't need to be to him until mid-September. And how many trees would the committee like? Brandy did say because of the dollar cost increase, we may need to purchase one less extra tree. I think we bought extra trees last year. She says we may need to do just one less extra.
You know, one thing, you guys, what do you think about this? What if we charged $55 for the sponsorship and had that extra $5 cover the $1 for the tree and cover a little bit of lighting? Do you think
What
that
about-
the ex-
Even if you broke it off at 50 even, that's a $4 increase. So
No, it's
$2
50,
increase.
it's
And you've got
$50. It's $50 now, Sharon. Even though we pay 47 for the tree, we have to cover.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
okay,
So,
So- Cindy, my first thought on that is there's a lot of tree sponsors that don't put a lot of money into their tree.
Mhm.
And I'm afraid they'd put even less in them. I don't know. For me, it's kind of about the quality. And I've been disappointed with a few of them. They're just like nothing on the trees. I don't know. It just might discourage. I don't know. I guess you sell out your adopted trees every year, so it's probably no big deal. But everything else is going up in price. So it's just that, you're asking them to spend 55 and then spend a bunch more for lights and decorations.
well, otherwise we're gonna have to charge, I think, 51. We have to
You have to do something.
cover that increase. So it's 51 or something.
Yeah, well, maybe, I don't know. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but that's my very first thought.
My first thought was just do 60.
Oh.
I think like, if they're 50 or 60, it just seems like a round number. I don't know if anybody pays, probably they don't pay cash for it, but it just seems like then that would give a nice cushion to maybe purchase some of those lights lining the walkway.
And in support of that, I think it's unlikely that people pocket the extra $2 or something and then say, I'm saving this specifically for the decorations.
Yeah.
They kind of reassess what they want to spend on the decorations once that time comes after they've already purchased a tree.
So, well, I'm still leaning a little bit towards the 55. It's kind of close to what they've been paying. And we have a slight increase, but we also have an increase in the cost of distributing them
Mm-hmm.
and putting them in. And what we can maybe say to them is that, yeah, I agree, we don't need to have those extra trees so much, but there were a couple that were quite dry last year. If we could make sure that we have really fresh trees, I know a couple of them, I would say what, 4 or 5 of them were just a little bit scrawny and dry. I mean, others were gorgeous. I am not complaining about those trees in general. But I think we do have to kind of cover the increase. So let's see if we get any hassle with a 55 maybe. And
Yeah, I mean,
agree.
some of them are a lot smaller than others.
I know they try to, it's really hard to get that many uniform trees. I
Yeah.
do get that. We'll see if we can do better with that. And Janine, right. If we don't have any extra trees, then so be it.
Okay. All right. Okay, so on to the next one. So we are working on the Chimes and Lights having its own Facebook page. So it's going to be connected to the City of Port Orchard government page. We're doing that right now, just, you know, making sure that we can get it archived. So it'll have its own, you can like it, you can follow it. It's just going to be its own fun page. So we are hoping to have that live and ready by June 1st, if not earlier, just depending on the content and information we can get on it. And then we can definitely start pushing out, you know, the tree application, the upcoming events. So it'll be, I think it'll be a nice fun thing, and we can post a whole bunch of pictures and, you know, link people back to our website. So that's on the Facebook page. So utility billing, so they reached out, they wanted to know if we're gonna do the, was it the 3rd page insert this
Right.
year? And if we are, when would we like to have those with the utility bills?
When is the cycle? Is it October, November, Janine? Or how does that run?
So right now it's May, June, yeah, September, October, November, December.
It'll have to be September, October. Otherwise we miss it.
Yeah, if they get the December, they might get it too late. Okay.
Yep.
Let
And that
me-
works. That's a really good informational.
Definitely.
I
And
think that's what we'll want to do.
And I can start working on that 3rd page and also the flyers and the posters. I'm getting some updates right now to the website, so I have it tasked to start working on some of that information.
Okay. Great.
So honestly, other than that, I think that is all I had. Yeah, so I don't know if anybody had any questions on any of that, but yeah, that's what I have.
No, I think that's a really good start. Okay. Let's see, what else have we talked about? Have we had any contact at all with the volunteer organizations yet to know if they want to be involved?
I've reached out to a couple, I just haven't heard back yet. Some of them
Yep.
are by phone only, and so sometimes that can be hit and miss, but I just have myself tasked to call them back.
Okay. Kathleen, are you going to be able to contact the choirs and such to get commitments
Yeah,
from
I'm
them to
gonna
find
work on
out
that.
if they're
Yeah.
interested this year?
Did you want the
Okay,
same,
okay.
the
I just
same
wanted to-
lineup? Were you gonna think about putting some of those dancers or Scottish bands in at the stage, at the main stage? Because that would affect how many choirs we connect with.
That's really true. Or how long they actually perform. You know, it seems to me that the pipe bands will not need to be up there because they won't need to have microphones and such because they're so loud. That it would be better having them out in the community a bit more.
Okay.
So let's just go ahead and see what interest we have in the choirs, and then just not promise anything regarding the actual scheduling. We're kind of thinking of a 3 o'clock start time in general for Chimes
Okay.
and Lights. So if need be, we might cut down a little bit. I can't say for sure. I'll have a better idea when we hear back from some of the bands, the other bands, but I don't think they need to be necessarily on that stage.
Yeah, you're thinking of strategically putting them in different areas. So as people walk around to see what there is to see, there's music going on to entertain them.
Right, and I'm almost thinking they would be there later. The pipe bands, I'm thinking would be, yeah, later in
Or
the
like
afternoon.
tree lighting time.
After the tree lighting?
Well, that is definitely something to be worked out.
Okay. So Kids Up Community Chorale has traditionally led the community in the song right before the tree lighting. Did you want to ask if they can do that again?
Maybe we could ask if they could be prepared, but we can't confirm exactly yet,
Okay.
depending on participation, that is an option for a sing-along.
Okay.
But if we get into quite a bit of, if we get a lot of Scottish type dancing or pipe bands interested, then they may have some kind of little ceremony that would be way cool too. So
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure on
Okay.
that, but I did like having them nearer the start of it. They're quite professional and they're pretty tight with being able to manage the group.
Yeah.
Then it's less kid stuff. They're usually more adults in
Yeah,
that group.
they're all adult. Yeah.
Then we can have the children there isn't that exchange with the kids so much, and they're safe and they're already down and blah, blah. Adults can be quickly told, to move or change or whatever.
Mhm.
So I think having them closest to the event is best, just
Yeah,
like we had it.
That's how we've done it before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So just if they know that, and they've done a really good job of being Johnny on the spot in the past, flexible.
Yeah.
I think we're just asking for flexibility at this point until we have
Okay.
a little more info. Okay. This is pretty exciting. I'm really liking the idea of the plaids and stuff. I think it's going to be so fun. So, okay. Let's see, what else do we have? So this is a lot of great information this time. And everybody kind of knows the dates. Do you want me to quick over the dates as far as trees are going to be judged after November 24th. The trees will be put in place November 1st through the 4th. The decorating takes place the 7th through the 23rd. This is of November, I should have said that. The takedown date this next year is January 15th, 2023. So that's all the decorations down by mid-January.
What?
15th. Then the winners will be posted on the city website and also announced at the Chimes and Lights Festival. And let's see, we added an additional category for judging, and that is the best Scottish themed. Otherwise, we're still going with the most classic, the overall best in show, best business representation, and then the best Scottish theme tree. So we'll have those categories. We'll have the same kind of, Ginny's working on the application and all of that. LED lights, that's the biggest thing of all we know, so that all of them stay lit. They're getting pretty good about that. And the city provides the extension cords and does all of the connections. Right, Janine? That's where we're at. Okay. All right. Let's see. Does anyone know if was there any possibility of a pet parade or anything?
We can work on that. We worked with the vet, Woodside.
Yeah,
ran that.
Woodside. I think the person who did that before left Woodside or is no longer there.
She
we
did,
may-
but I bet that Simply Irresistible Pets might be interested. She's
Ah,
doing one. She's
That's
running
what I
one for
was-
Derby Day.
Yeah,
okay.
I was gonna suggest her. She won't be in that building by then. She'll have moved, but so I think it kind of depends on where she moves in Port Orchard.
Okay.
Mhm.
But, and 1 year, a year or two, Humane Society helped with it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I think it'd be kind of fun to have a pet parade if we can.
It's super fun. Do you want me to work on that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's fun, especially if the vet or the pet place kind of takes over on it, because they have all the connections.
Yeah, that's way cool. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe Kathleen, maybe that's something then some other pops and people could do
Help
too.
with-
I mean,
yeah,
I
for
love
sure.
that thing, when the chamber did it, because I started that when I was at the chamber and people loved it. They just loved it.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, we have
Okay.
a lot of the same entrants each year.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
like really fun. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Good. We should get some big ones now. There's camels out by Manchester.
Yeah.
I'd love to have.
They've been there for decades.
Yeah. We've had cats.
So when you're saying pets, you're not just saying kitty cats and doggies.
No, but
Yeah.
I feel like we had a
Corinne.
miniature horse. Yeah.
Corinne, remember we had a llama one time?
We did
And
have a llama.
Yes.
And
Hi,
we had
hi,
goats.
Rita.
We had
Yeah.
goats too.
I think we might have had a pig once too when the chamber did it.
Oh,
I
you're
can't quite
kidding.
remember.
A pig.
It was fun. I loved that event. So,
I think it's really fun.
It was fun.
And
People loved
especially you guys, if they know it's a Scottish theme, all those
Oh,
little
yeah.
critters can be dressed up as little Scots.
yeah, I'm going to Scotland this summer, so I'm gonna get a head start on my Scotland tree decorations.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Dibs on
Wow.
Outlander decorations.
Oh, this is fun. This is really gonna be good. Okay, I think we've covered a lot of what we had talked about before. Janine, one question. So if we have a separate Facebook page, will we still have an area on the city website, or will it automatically jump to the Facebook page?
Oh, no, we'll still have, we'll have a Facebook page dedicated to Chimes and Lights, and then a Facebook. Did I
Okay.
say that backwards? A website and a Facebook page. So yeah, we'll have two separate ones.
Okay, and we did talk about, decorated rocks, how we've done that in the past. That was kind of fun. And actually, Fathoms did all that painting and stuff and hiding, and that's still kind of a possibility. We should have different plaids. We should have different plaids on these rocks, right?
Yeah, maybe we actually need to divide ourselves up into clans. So that'll work.
That is a good idea. Do you know, where is it? Is it in Spain, in a neighborhood, or in Italy?
It's
Where
in
they
Italy.
have all those flags for their different ones. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's for the big races, the horse race.
Yeah,
That
that's in
is too
Italy.
fun. Maybe we do need to have plaids. Maybe we need to check out a plaid from City Hall.
Yeah. Yeah.
oh.
Now, you know what? Hey, Rob and Mark have whatchamacallits, kilts. You gotta make Rob wear his kilt.
Oh, he will. He loves wearing his kilt. Yeah. Anybody
Yeah.
can wear their plaids and kilts.
Okay, maybe I'll get Steve a kilt when we're in Scotland this summer.
There you go.
In the pet parade.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got a few more minutes, but any other questions or comments, you guys?
I did just hear back from utility billing that the inserts, they would just need them no later than July 31st.
Okay.
To put them in the September, October bills. So we have some time.
Very good. And actually, once we do one of our first ads, then we'll have something like we can use, like we did for this year. The same sort of artwork can be used in various places. So we'll be working on that. So cool. All right. I think that we've covered just about everything.
We did go ahead and get Jeff Evans, so we booked him for the library magic show.
Oh, good. Okay, Jeff Evans is going to be here. And what time is that going to be, Kathleen, that show? Did we?
We said 2.
2.
Oh, 2. Okay. And that was an hour show, right?
Yeah, it's about like 45 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, and then crafts we're going to start afterwards, correct? Is that how it was going to be, or is it going to be crafts?
We were going to do crafts before. Yeah,
Before?
so 10 to 2.
Okay, 10 to 2 in crafts. Okay.
Is that when you'll want the royalty down there for that?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Let me just take a peek. I think we have covered a lot of material, and the next meeting will end up being 1, 2. Is it May 9th? Does that look right?
The 16th,
Is it the 16th?
I have the 16th.
Okay, May
Third-
16th.
Third Monday.
May 16th is it.
I will do my best.
Okay, good. So we're moving along, and this is going to be fun. And Janine will just keep working on getting all the updates in place.
Sounds
And
good.
we'll check out, to find out who's going to do what with volunteers and the church groups and various places. But we are on, the marching band is on for sure. And like I said, we're looking into the pipe bands, more than one. So I think it's going to be a lot of great music. The one thing that we'll have to keep in mind is if bagpipes are playing, you may not be able to hear other music very well.
That's really loud.
Yeah. So we may not have it, we'll have to really coordinate that carefully. So we don't drown out the choirs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending. This has been great. And we'll see you next month and keep working on it. So
Thank you,
thank you.
Sandy.
I'll be in touch with Kitsap Transit too.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you.
Thanks.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.